Welcome to the Amnayalife podcast. Today we will talk about the hidden pressure of comparing yourself to naturally fluent peers and how that quiet comparison can sabotage your confidence and motivation to speak English. I'm your host, Jack Smith, and I'm here with Huang Yulan, who has an incredible story to share about her English learning journey. Yulan, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you, Jack. It's honestly a little nerve-wracking to talk about this because comparison is something I think almost every English learner feels, but no one admits out loud. I used to watch classmates speak English so smoothly and just think, why not me? I'm glad to be here and share my journey.
I want to start with something I notice everywhere. In Taiwan's classrooms and workplaces, there's always that naturally good English speaker, someone who seems confident, relaxed, almost native. But for the rest, seeing that person often triggers self-doubt instead of inspiration. Why do you think seeing someone else's fluency can feel so discouraging instead of motivating?
Jack, I used to think it'd make me try harder, but it actually crushed my confidence. I would be in meetings or classes, hear someone like my friend Rachel speak, and immediately my brain would say, "She's gifted, my effort can never measure up." Instead of pushing myself forward, I shrank back and tried to disappear. I started to believe something was broken in me.
That's so important. I think comparison feels safe, like we're measuring ourselves realistically, but it actually paralyzes you. It becomes a wall instead of a bridge to learning.
Exactly. Instead of learning from them, I just became more and more anxious. It got to a point where I started avoiding group projects or chances to speak up just because someone better was in the room.
What's powerful is that this comparison isn't about English at all. It's about identity, belonging, and the stories you tell yourself about who you should be.
Yes, and for me, those stories weren't kind. I felt like an outsider, even in my own country.
Today, Yulan's going to walk us through how she broke that habit and how shifting her mindset changed everything about her English and actually her life.
If even one listener can relate, I hope they feel less alone and realize comparison really can be overcome.
Before we dive deeper into Yulan's story, I want to let you know, if you're struggling with the same challenges we're talking about today, there's a free class I've created that breaks down the real reasons blocking your English fluency. You can find the link in the episode description, and it's going to show you exactly how to remove these blocks. Okay, Yulan, let's get into your story.
Sounds good, Jack. So, let me set the scene. I grew up in Tainan, a good student, top of my class in English all the way through high school. I memorized textbooks, aced grammar tests, but I didn't speak much. Then, at university, I joined a student club where everyone had to discuss projects in English. My classmate Rachel had grown up partly in Canada, and she was so natural. She just joked and explained ideas without thinking. Whenever there were group presentations, everyone looked to her first.
That's such a familiar dynamic. One person becomes the default speaker, and the others shrink back, even if they're strong students.
Yes, I tried volunteering once or twice, but after watching Rachel, my brain just went blank. Every time I introduced myself, it felt robotic. I compared myself constantly. Her accent, her confidence, her vocabulary, it all seemed so unreachable.
What I notice here is that comparison convinces you your own strengths don't matter and amplifies every little mistake until it overshadows your progress.
That's exactly what happened. Even when teachers praised my written work or said, "Your pronunciation is clear," I just brushed it off. All I saw was what I lacked.
The real struggle is when you start believing you can't catch up, your motivation dries up and fear of embarrassment grows.
Right. It became a downward spiral. I started dreading club meetings, even skipped some, lying that I was busy. My progress totally stalled.
What's interesting is sometimes the more talented or fluent people there are around us, the more isolated we feel unless we learn to reframe that story.
That was my turning point. After one meeting, Rachel actually messaged me privately and said, "Why do you always let me dominate? You always have great perspectives. I wish you'd speak them." That surprised me. She didn't see herself as intimidating at all.
It's amazing how our assumptions about others are so often wrong. Sometimes the fluent person wants you to be involved too.
That opened my eyes. I realized my fear of being compared was holding me back more than any grammar mistake.
That insight can change everything. Understanding that your value isn't erased just because someone's a step ahead.
Yes, I started setting tiny goals. Say one thing at every meeting, even if it was just a follow-up question. I practiced reframing when jealousy appeared. I told myself, that's proof it's possible, not proof you're failing.
That's beautiful and exactly how you build momentum. By shifting their proof I can't into their proof I can, you turn comparison into fuel.
At first, every time I spoke, my heart pounded. But the more I did it, the less power the comparison had. I realized Rachel was just human. She sometimes fumbled too.
That's so key. Once you see your competition as just another learner, it all feels lighter.
Yes, and I eventually became comfortable offering to help newer club members because I wanted them to feel seen too.
Let's break this down. The root pattern you changed wasn't about English skill, but about how you measured your value.
Absolutely. I learned to recognize the comparison thought and let it go. My value isn't decided by anyone else's journey.
That matches what I see in Taiwan. Students taught to judge progress only by grades or by the best in the room. But progress is personal.
It's so freeing not to be in a race anymore.
What internal mindset shift made the biggest difference?
Treating every opportunity to speak as practice for me, not a competition. I started focusing on expressing my thoughts, not outperforming others.
What makes that shift hard is, for so long, we're rewarded only for being better than someone else.
Right, but now I reward myself for every brave attempt.
Looking back, how do you handle things differently now?
I joined discussions earlier, even if I'm unsure. I know now that nobody's judging as harshly as I imagined.
That's huge growth confidence born from participation, not perfection.
Yes, it's a very different feeling.
I see comparison anxiety everywhere. So many listeners probably relate.
My advice? The people you compare yourself to are often as insecure as you.
That's what keeps so many from even starting the illusion that you're too far behind. The truth is, everyone's story matters.
For anyone listening, your progress deserves to be celebrated.
Let's give everyone 3 specific tips to put this into action.
First, write down your English wins each week, no matter how small. Make it a habit.
That focuses your mind on progress, not shortcomings.
Second, practice gratitude for your unique learning path. List 3 strengths you bring to every group. These can be empathy, creativity, or persistence.
That cements self-worth independent of performance.
Third, reach out to fluent peers. Ask them for help or tips and invite their support instead of keeping them at a distance.
Turning rivals into allies makes the journey way less lonely.
Yes, and most people love to help if you just ask.
Yulan, your honesty is so powerful. You embody the courage to step beyond comparison.
Thank you, Jack. I hope listeners realize it's okay to be inspired, but your own voice is needed too.
Imagine a future where your progress feels like a victory, not a race.
That's my hope for everyone, that we all grow together.
And the only story that really matters is your own.
Keep speaking, keep trying. You belong here too.
Yulan, thank you so much for being here today and sharing your story with us. I know our listeners are going to find so much value in what you've shared.
Thank you for having me, Jack. I hope my experience helps someone out there.
I'm sure it will. And to everyone listening, if you want to discover the real reasons that are blocking you from speaking English fluently, click the link in this episode to watch a free class that will show you how to remove these blocks.